Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and honestly something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Over the past couple of years, in between tutorials, new videos, and bigger projects, I've secretly been building a handful of side projects inside of Unreal Engine 5. Some of them were just tiny little experiments and some were way more ambitious, and a few of them have just never seen the light of day. And these weren't full games, but they were little playgrounds, places where I tested different mechanics, extracted different assets from games, or just tried new art styles and experimented with different ideas I thought would eventually turn into full videos. But obviously life got busy, other content took priority, and these projects just sat abandoned on my hard drive. Well, today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane, and for the first time ever, we're digging into the vault and showing you some of these canceled and forgotten UE5 projects, some of them which I've never shown to anyone before, from my zombie mobile game shooter to a blocky styled Minecraft game to a Star Wars game prototype, a scrapped battle royale game, and even a Club Penguin 3D remake. Some of these ideas got surprisingly far and others not so much. So either way, consider this a fun trip through the weird corners of my development history. Let's go ahead and crack open the archive and see all the old projects that I worked on. And if you guys are new here to the channel, my name is Smart Paul. I make all sorts of Unreal Engine news and content. And if you're interested in learning Unreal Engine 4 game development, I have some exciting news for you. My Unreal Engine 5 multiplayer survival game course bundle now has a 25% off limited time sale. To commemorate the launch of Unreal Engine 5.7, we're having a special 25% off discount. So use code UNREAL57 at checkout when you purchase the survival game course bundle. Get access to over 100 hours of learning content between both courses included in the single bundle, and kickstart your game development journey today. So check it out, link in the description below, or head over to my website smartpoly.teachable.com to learn more. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Okay, so this first project that I have here is this battle royale game. So here is the project, this battle royale version 5.0.3. Let's go ahead and hit play here. Okay, so essentially this is a simple battle royale game template that I was working on. So you can see I have this very simple character locomotion. I have this nice little compass, and I can go and pick up some items. So go ahead and pick up this rifle, this stuff, pick up this gear, this backpack. Okay, we have things like a grenade. So if I open up my inventory by pressing tab, we have this little menu. You can see the image is quite stretched. We have a helmet. It does have an equip system, but for some reason it's busted, absolutely busted. Drop fail, as you can see. So I had all the animations and everything set up. For some reason, I downloaded this project from GitHub, so it's an old project from a while ago. But as you can see, obviously, so there are some bugs with the drag and drop. So this originally had some drag and drop and is a simple inventory system that I set up with some very simple item pickups. And I think this was actually before my survival game course. But yeah, this was just a very simple item pickup system with different items and, you know, some of the different meshes there. And again, this is supposed to be like a battle royale game, sort of like PUBG. And right now I was just focusing on the main inventory aspect of it. Okay, my next project here is this project called Data Assets. This is actually just a dump project where I just dumped a bunch of different assets in here. But in here, this is where I imported some Star Wars characters. So let's go ahead and just play this over here. Yeah, as you can see, I've got a bunch of these little clone troopers. So these characters are from the game like Jedi Fallen Order or something, or Jedi Survivor. Like the new UE4 game, I forget what it's called. It's like Jedi Survivor or something like that. But these are the clone troopers from the game. Since it's a UE4 game or made in UE4, you can easily extract the characters. So yeah, these are the clone troopers from the game. So I imported the mesh, and I think this is one of the animations. I can't remember if that's sure, but there's like the idle animation. So I was going to try and create some sort of, I don't know, Star Wars fan game using some extracted assets from some of the official games, because these assets actually look really good. Like I set up all the materials, and this thing is actually rigged to the Unreal skeleton. Like I'm pretty sure I had this all rigged up. So let's go to some of the animations. We have just the gun animation, but really it's rigged to the skeleton, so it can be used, or you know, any animation can be retargeted to it. And then of course in the background over here I have this ATTE, which is from the game Star Wars Battlefront 2. So this is from like the EA, the DICE one that released in I think 2017. So I got the textures and everything imported. This is kind of actually a pain in the ass because you have to go into Blender and figure out the LOD0 and then join all those together. And I actually got this thing rigged. So yeah, this is the skeletal mesh. And I didn't have the animations. I couldn't figure out how to extract the animations. But I found a model that someone animated. And I was trying to work on the animation. So this is like a work in progress walk animation that I retargeted from another animation that I found online. So as you can see, the feet are still messed up, but you know, you guys get the general idea. So I wanted to make like actual playable ATTE that you could drive, because it's actually not that hard to set up the character blueprint for that, and maybe make some sort of Star Wars fan game. Maybe that's something that, you know, I'll do in a future video. But yeah, these are just some of the assets that I extracted from those games. Okay, moving on, I have this mobile lighting project. This is a simple project that I was working on, where I was trying to work on, you know, different styles, kind of trying to match like the Unity lighting and just get some simple stylization. So it's like a mobile game. So here's some little simple character guy. You know, I play this and he has some simple walk animations. This is another mobile game that I have here, this cookie clicker game. So basically this is like a simple mobile game, cookie clicker. So I have play game and quit game. Then you have this little simple cookie clicker game where you can press on the cookies, spam it. We have a shop menu. A lot of the UI and stuff here is just AI generated, obviously. So like the, you know, textures and stuff, or just the icons, all that stuff is AI. And blah, blah, blah. This is the description of the item. You can see it's just like a template. So you could buy certain things. I didn't set up the buy functionality, but essentially it's supposed to be just a simple cookie clicker game. We have exit, play game, and, you know, quit game. So again, I was just working on some simple, I don't know, mobile games. Just some simple ideas in Unreal Engine. This other game that I have here is pretty exciting. So this is my Club Penguin remake in Unreal Engine Early Access. So this is Unreal Engine 5.0.3, but this was made in Unreal Engine Early Access. You can tell it's the Early Access version because when it was released, they used the third-person template from Unreal Engine 4. They didn't update the template until, you know, 5.0 was officially released. So you can see we have the default third-person template from UE4. So I use this as the base to create this simple character. I actually modeled this little character here. We have a player name. And then we have this little bar, which is similar to the actual game. So instead of having a 2D game, we're having a 3D game. And you can even use the chat. So I can do like, hello guys, welcome back to another video. And you can see we have this little chat window. So I was going to make this, I think, into a multiplayer game. This is client 1. So maybe we can play as 2 players here. Let's go ahead and test this out. I haven't remembered if this is actually set up for multiplayer. Okay, so here are 2 windows. Okay, we can jump, all that stuff. Okay, let's see if our chat message, hello guys. Yeah, so yeah, you can see I did set this up for multiplayer. So it was supposed to be like a multiplayer game. And it's supposed to be like a Club Penguin remake. Yeah, so you can see the buttons and stuff. You can click on them. You can type in the chat. But that's pretty much it. You have like jump. All this stuff is animated. I created this character model. So I was going to make a little simple Club Penguin remake. Maybe we'll have to do that in the future because I have all the models and assets for it. And even the UI. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see, you know, some of my old projects. I was going to make this for like a fun video. But again, I just never got around to finishing this game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. Should I go ahead and actually finish this video? Maybe it'll be interesting to watch. Okay, next up, I have my mobile FPS game. So again, some more mobile games. This one was actually supposed to be like a COD Zombies remake. Now, some of the Megascans assets here are missing textures. So unfortunately, that is just how it is sometimes. But yeah, I'll go ahead and hit play, and basically we have like this little mobile game. We have a simple, you know, joystick to move around, and on the screen you can use your thumb to move the camera around. We have a pistol. And then we can go up to this little thing, click purchase, and now we have a rifle. Okay, we have jump set up, some basic health. I didn't set up any enemies, and I think this is all using baked lighting. So I was messing around, experimenting with some baked lighting over here, and just kind of messing around with some mobile game settings, like some input. You know, I actually got this to package on one of my Android phones. But yeah, I was just experimenting with using stuff like Megascans. So these Megascans were like the lowest quality. You can export them as like low, and basically it'll give you like these, you know, low poly versions of Megascans, which are very nice. So you can see the wood and stuff, the details. But yeah, this is just one of the mobile game projects that I was working on that I never got around to making. I think I was going to make like a course or something about this, or maybe like a video on, I'm not really sure, but I was just kind of experimenting with it. Okay, next up I have this only up multiplayer sort of game remake. So again, this is another multiplayer game, but this case, this is like a only up style game. So over here we have a little obstacle course that you can climb up. And this is, I think, before gameplay animation sample project. So we have like this line trace climbing system over here. It's very buggy, as you can see, but you can essentially just climb up the different items. Jump up over here. You can see my player on the other screen. And it's supposed to be like an only up style parkour game where you have to run up the obstacle, but in this case it'd be multiplayer, so I guess it'd be like chained together or something. I was just using some simple assets that are free. So I think these are like kit bash assets that you can download for free on Cargo that I'm using, and basically just showing how to set up, you know, something like this in multiplayer. I think this was again going to be like a tutorial or something. I'm not sure, but never got around to finishing it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Okay, this next project, I was using some simple assets over here. So these are some simple assets from, I think, Kenny Game Assets. I was trying to make like a Minecraft style game, I don't know. I retargeted some animations from Mixamo to this character. And I think I even set up my own like Minecraft style animations where the character is like just walking. But then I used some Mixamo animations and it looks pretty funky. You know, the hand is like clipping through the head. I was trying to make some sort of Minecraft remake. I don't know what I was trying to do with this project. Okay, so this random other project is called Test Environment. This is Unreal Engine 5.1. So this, again, has some assets that I extracted from an old Star Wars game. I think Star Wars Battlefront, maybe. These are some background vehicles, like I think from like Coruscant or something. So yeah, some of the flying vehicles. But in here, I was messing around with that zombie first-person shooter game. I was just messing around with some assets. You can see some of the Megascans assets over there. They're obviously missing their textures. But what's neat about this one is I was messing around with the Mass AI vehicle plugin, which came out with like the city sample, like this Matrix Awakens demo. And I took this asset. This is an asset from a game called Arcade. I don't know if I showed this off in the channel before. I feel like I haven't. But this is a asset that I ripped from the game Arcade, which is like the carriage. So these carriages are just randomly driving around the level. And let me see if I can actually get this to work. So if we go ahead and simulate them, they're supposed to be driving around on this pathway like that. Okay, as you can see. And it uses the Mass Entity plugin from that city, the Matrix Awakens. Let's go ahead and see if I can adjust the count. Okay, we'll just spawn one vehicle and have it play in here. So yeah, it's supposed to drive around the level. Now the problem with this plugin is they never went and updated this. So like I was trying to see if it was feasible to use as like a AI, you know, vehicle system or like transportation system in a game. But unfortunately, you know, it's like pretty much all C++, and you can configure it from using like these data assets, but it's very limited, and Epic never wanted to actually go ahead and update the plugin or add more features to it. So it was kind of, you know, this one-time use in that demo. But yeah, this asset is pretty neat. I kind of messed around with some of the Arc Age assets. because it's just one of those games that I loved playing back in the day. And if I had, the time, the money, the resources, I'd love to remake the game in Unreal Engine 5. But, obviously that's a pretty ambitious idea. So for now, it's just extracting, ripping assets and messing around with them in the engine. And this is one of those maps that I was messing around with. I actually showed this in one of my old videos. But if I play from here, I set up the vehicle as drivable. So the vehicle is actually fully drivable. So as you can see here, we have the controls. Right now it's not as strong, so I'll need to like update, the traction of like the wheels or something like that. It's not really good on this steep terrain. But as you can see, I pretty much rigged the vehicle and set it up as a drivable vehicle. And I think I have all the vehicles extracted, but I haven't imported them into the engine yet. It's just this one. But again, I was just experimenting with some of the different assets. And in the background here, this level, I was working on another project, which was, checking out all these free assets. These are all free assets from the marketplace. So these are like different military vehicles. This is from like the Vigilante military vehicles collection. So I think they were using them for like some sort of simulator. And essentially they went ahead and made all these free to download. So I was going to do like a review video showcasing all of these assets, how detailed they are, and you can download them for free. But I never got around to doing it. And yeah, as you can see, those are some of the assets. You can actually download, I think, most of these. Some of them, they've removed them because of, the Fab to Unreal Marketplace switch up. So some of them you can't actually find. But yeah, it even comes with this aircraft carrier over here, which I placed a couple of different jets. So yeah, this is a neat little project that I was working on. This island map is actually another asset that you can get from the marketplace. So this one isn't free, you have to purchase this. And of course I use like ultra dynamic sky for the lights. And for some reason the ocean plugin here is broken, so you can see it's just the landscape terrain mesh there. But yeah, this is just another neat project that I was working on. But yeah, those are all the different Unreal projects that I messed around with over the past couple of years that I haven't necessarily shown off or released or made videos about. I just want to kind of show you guys what I've been working on in my spare time between, uploading videos and courses and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. Is this something that you're more interested in, seeing some of these different projects? Let me know. And that's pretty much it for this video. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.